Welcome to Venus, the sweltering planet some have referred to as Earth's twin. We'll take you on a thrilling journey to Venus and investigate what would happen if you only stayed on this dangerously beautiful planet for 5 seconds. As we explore the extreme circumstances and difficulties you would encounter, get ready for an adventure unlike any other. Let's start now. Say hello to hell. I meant Venus, I'm sorry. Venus is frequently referred to as Earth's twin and has a beautiful but dangerous landscape. We will investigate what would occur if you dared to spend just 5 seconds on this sweltering planet in this episode. Be ready for a remarkable journey filled with dangerous situations and unfathomable difficulties. In the vastness of space, Venus, the second planet from the Sun, stands as our nearest neighbor. Venus is only 40 million kilometers, 25 million miles from Earth at its closest approach. You would finally have the chance to see this incredible yet dangerous planet up close after a 4-month space journey. It's interesting to note that 4.5 billion years ago, Earth and Venus both came from the same cosmological region of our solar system. We look to the brave probes that have ventured into this hostile world to truly understand Venus. These robotic emissaries orbited Venus, flew by, and even touched down there, providing insightful observations. However, because of the harsh circumstances, their survival was only temporary. You will encounter fascinating clouds that stretch across the sky and emit a yellowish hue as you descend toward Venus. These stunning formations are made of sulfuric acid, which gives off a strong smell akin to rotten eggs. Despite the temptation, it is strongly advised against taking off your helmet to breathe in these gases. As you descend to an altitude of 50 kilometers, 30 miles above the surface, visibility decreases. Your view is obscured by the thick atmosphere, which hides the planet's craggy topography and myriad volcanoes. Because carbon dioxide makes up the majority of the atmosphere, heat is effectively trapped there, causing the surface to become extremely hot. The haze starts to disappear as you travel further into Venus' atmosphere, revealing an intriguing world below. Mountains and volcanoes can be seen in the rust-colored landscapes. Despite the breathtaking scenery, caution is advised due to the ongoing volcanic activity. You control your spacecraft while taking samples and taking in the scenery. The atmosphere, which is primarily composed of carbon dioxide with traces of nitrogen, supports earlier observations. You locate a potential landing location and call mission control to get confirmation, but to your dismay, there is no signal. Despite the lack of communication, you start the landing procedure without authorization. Your spacecraft is surrounded by billowing clouds of dust, which take several minutes to settle in the dense atmosphere. You look up as the dust settles and discover that it is always dawn. No matter what time of day it is, Venus always has a drab illumination. Only 10% of the sun's energy can penetrate the planet's thick atmosphere and reach the surface. If you think back to the accomplishments of earlier space probes, you might recall Venera 13, a Soviet probe that touched down on Venus in 1981. It survived the descent and kept going for an amazing 127 minutes. The hostile environment eventually had its way with the probe, causing it to be crushed or melted under tremendous pressure. You keep moving forward with a determined attitude because you only have 5 seconds left on this mysterious planet. Walking through water, you can feel the weight of Venus's thick atmosphere as you step out onto the surface. Temperatures soar to a scorching 475 degrees Celsius, 900 degrees Fahrenheit, which is hot enough to melt lead. It's important to note that based on our understanding of the effects of extreme heat on organic matter, such temperatures are far beyond what the human body can endure, and any exposure to them would be fatal. Upon contact with the superheated air or surfaces at 475 degrees Celsius, your skin would immediately burn and char. This extreme heat would cause your skin to rapidly lose moisture and undergo severe thermal damage. The high temperature would cause the proteins and other cellular components in your skin and underlying tissues to denature and break down. This would lead to irreversible damage to cells and tissues. In a fraction of a second, your bodily fluids, including blood, would start to vaporize due to the extreme heat. The moisture within your body would turn into steam, leading to rapid expansion and potential explosive effects. The collagen and other structural proteins that give your body its form and strength would break down rapidly. This would result in the loss of structural integrity and potentially lead to the collapse or disintegration of your body. Given the speed at which these destructive processes would occur, death would be nearly instantaneous. Your body would not have any chance to adapt or respond to extreme conditions. Lucky for you though, you are protected from harsh surroundings by your protective suit, which ensures your survival. It is evidence of both human ingenuity and technological progress. Despite the difficulties, you take comfort in the knowledge that earlier spacecraft have survived longer stays on the surface. However, disaster strikes as you take in your surroundings and engage in the first of a first-hand human analysis of Venus's surface conditions. You experience an abrupt pressure change similar to being submerged very deep underwater as your protective suit suffers a catastrophic breach. 90 times greater than Earth's atmospheric pressure, Venus' atmosphere exerts a crushing force in all directions. At the same time that breathing becomes impossible due to a lack of oxygen, the atmosphere that is being inhaled scalds your mouth and throat. Survival is impossible unless you can quickly retreat to the safety of your spacecraft. You have only seconds to escape the unyielding pressure and oppressive atmosphere. The sulfuric acid rain that would otherwise dissolve your skin and bones in this excruciatingly hot environment evaporates before it reaches the ground, saving you from the agony. In hindsight, it seems ill-advised to explore Venus' hostile surface without first attempting to terraform it. It might have been a better idea to make Venus a more hospitable planet first before traveling there. But this hypothetical story raises fascinating future possibilities. Scientists and visionaries have long been fascinated by the idea of terraforming Venus and making it habitable for human life. But while terraforming Venus is still an intriguing idea, there are many obstacles to overcome, including lowering the greenhouse effect, dealing with extreme pressures and temperatures, and modifying the toxic atmosphere. However, the potential for terraforming Venus may be unlocked by advances in science and technology. One day, the possibility of colonization or exploration may be made possible by altering the atmosphere of the planet, lowering the greenhouse effect, and finding ways to lessen the extremely high temperatures and pressures. Even briefly setting foot on Venus would be a dangerous and extraordinary journey. It is a truly hellish landscape due to the sweltering heat, oppressive atmospheric pressure, and poisonous surroundings. Though it is still only a dream, scientific developments might open the door for more missions and even the eventual transformation of the hostile planet Venus. Consequently, even 5 seconds on Venus would expose you to a very dangerous and hostile environment. Venus presents insurmountable difficulties for human exploration, from the sweltering heat and crushing atmospheric pressure to the toxic atmosphere. However, Venus' allure as well as the potential for upcoming missions and terraforming efforts continue to capture our attention. Did this catch your interest? Please subscribe to Weather Collapse if you want to know more and be updated on the latest news about natural calamities or disasters happening all over the world, and don't forget to like today's video. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.